Hey everyone, Shane here with eToro.com. Today I have a 2019 Volkswagen Passat. I'm going to walk through how to install Tekonsha T1 vehicle wiring harness. This wiring harness is designed to live inside the vehicle, so when you're ready to use it, you simply take it out of your storage area. You want to make sure you run it over top of the rubber seal and stay away from anywhere where your trunk lid attaches. Now, you may be concerned that the wire gets pinched in here. It's actually designed to be used in this way. So this kit's going to give us 4.2 amps per circuit for stop and turn signals, 7.5 amps per circuit for our tail lights. Now, a nice thing about this kit is, one, it's easy to install. It's just going to connect directly behind each tail light with a factory plug. Two, you're going to have a power wire that runs up to the battery. It's going to have a converter box on it. What the converter box does is, let's say you're pulling a trailer and the trailer wiring has some kind of short in it. Well, when that short backfeeds to the vehicle, it's actually going to hit the converter box, and that converter box is going to shut the power off to the wiring kit and keeps it from going to your factory wiring on your vehicle. With these connecting behind your taillights and the power wire going to the battery, that means we're not drawing any power from our factory lights on the vehicle. The trailer lights are getting all the power from the battery on the vehicle, where the trailer is only receiving the signal from our factory taillights on the vehicle itself. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's walk through how to get it installed. Start our installation. We're going to come in our trunk. We need to remove our floor coverings, our back panel here, and then we're going to loosen the two bolts on each side and pull these panels in. We'll start with our carpet covering here. We're going to pull this up. We're going to come to this panel, and it doesn't matter which side you start on, we're just going to pull straight up. And we'll work our way across to the other side. Then we're going to set that aside. We'll take an Allen wrench, remove the two bolts, and they're just going to be plastic, so you don't have to, put a whole lot of pressure or anything like that on them. You want to make sure you get the base with it. We're going to take this panel and kind of push it out like this to get access to our tail light wiring. There's a red tab right here on the bottom. You're going to pull out on it, and then right on the bottom there's a little bitty tab that you push to disconnect, and it's right there. So this would be facing down. Push that little tab to disconnect. We'll do that same thing on the other side. Remove your foam. There's a foam surround that goes around your spare tire. In each corner of this carpet, you're going to have another fastener. Here and on the other side. Pull each one of those out. And then this allows us to kind of get our carpet out of the way, because we're going to have a power wire that we're going to need to run outside of the vehicle from the driver's side here. Now we're going to take our wiring. You're going to have a black wire with a red stripe on it. You're going to take one of the back connectors and you're going to add it on the end. You're going to take the bundle of wire that comes in your kit. We're going to unroll it. We're going to take one end. We're going to strip it back. We're going to add it into the other end of that butt connector. Once you get that done, you're going to take the yellow wire. It's going to be for our driver's side. One end is going to connect into the factory wiring. The other is going to plug directly into the back of the tail light. And make sure you don't forget to push your red tabs in to lock the wiring harness in place, or to lock the plug in place. Next thing we need to do is we need to mount our converter box. And a flat surface, mount it right here. We'll take our two-sided sticky tape that comes in our kit, peel off one side, press it into place. Just like that. We're going to take the green wire and we're going to route it over to the passenger side, right under the threshold that we removed. So we're going to route this wire just like this. And then we'll make our connections on our passenger side the same way we did on the driver's side. Next we need to do our ground wire. We need to make sure it's on a metal surface. This is all kind of thin, so I suggest this piece right here. It's doubled up, and that'll hold it in place pretty well. Allow your screw to stay in. I'm going to use a screw. I'm going to make the hole first. Next we need to get our power wire ran outside and up to the front of the vehicle to our battery. Look right here. This rubber grommet goes right outside the vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little hole in there, enough to get that wire through. I can take my wire running up to that hole and keep it back behind this panel. Once you get your wire ran through, you can go ahead and reinstall your panels for the... Once you get your wire ran through the grommet, your grommet reinstalled, you can go ahead and reinstall all your floor coverings. Once you get your wire ran, your grommet reinstalled, you can go ahead and reinstall all of your floor coverings. Now our wire came out right up here, right above our heat shield. So you can see how I ran the wire. Make sure you're staying away from the exhaust, at least where it's not touching it or too close to it. I ran behind this hard line here. You have your emergency brake cable bracket. I ran it through that. I'm going to take a zip tie. I'm going to zip tie this wire just like this. That'll keep it away from my exhaust enough. And from here, what I did is took a 10mm socket. You have some plastic nuts that run right along this edge. I took them off and took my wire and just tucked it up underneath this panel. That way it'll stay protected. I ran it right to here, and this is my pull wire that I have coming from engine compartment right around my battery. Once you get your wire pulled up, double check to make sure it's not snagged on anything down below, and also again make sure it's not sitting up against anything hot or that's going to be moving. I'm going to take a zip tie. I'm going to zip tie it right to this factory line right here. That'll help keep it up tight so that it doesn't fall back down, or we don't have a loose roll of it down at the bottom. It could get snagged on something as we're driving. I'll take this, I'm going to cut it to size. We're going to strip back the end. I'll add on the second butt connector that comes in our kit. We're going to take our fuse holder. We're going to cut it in half. We're going to strip back both ends. On one end, we're going to put the large ring terminal. The other end is connected to the other end of our butt connector. Make sure the fuse is not in the holder. Take a 10mm socket. We're going to loosen this nut. This nut is designed not to come all the way off. What we're going to do is we're going to take our ring terminal. We're just going to cut a notch out of it. Slide it on just like that. Then we can retighten the nut. After you get it attached, you can add your fuse. Now we're going to test out our wiring using part number I26. Right turn, left turn, brake lights, warning lights. Once you've tested it out, you know it's working correctly, you're ready to go. That's going to do it for a look at and installation on the Tekonsha T1 vehicle wiring harness on a 2019 Volkswagen Passat.